Hello, and welcome back to Let's Chat Creative Pathways podcast, where I have a special episode for you this time, where I'm going to be sharing the award celebration for receiving the honor of being named the 2025 Community Arts Educator of the Year by the Massachusetts Art Education Association. Earlier this fall, they had a large ceremony where people from across the state were named in different categories, from artists being recognized running educational programs at the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum in Boston, and people receiving Lifetime Achievement Awards from the Marlborough Public School system. I wasn't able to attend that ceremony, and so I was very thankful when my friends at Levitate offered up their cozy backyard space for me to invite friends, family, and colleagues to come together and celebrate the day with me. I was also very honored that Cari DiCicco, the president of the MAEA, offered to come on down and hand me my award in person. And my good friend, Sage Brousseau, who runs art education programming at the Boston Children's Museum, who nominated me for this award, was also able to attend and get us started with an introduction. What you're about to hear is the presentation of my award and my acceptance speech, which really captures the heart of Creative Pathways. What it is, where it came from, and where I see all of this going. I hope that you will enjoy this and see yourself somewhere in this journey. And if not, that you see this as an open invitation to collaborate someplace in the future, whether through community arts programming or anything else you might have in mind. Reach out, let me know. You can always find me on social at Creative Pathways Project, and you can send me an email at creativepathwaysproject@gmail.com. So I would love to hear from you and look forward to expanding Creative Pathways into any place that your community sees fit. Now let's head to Levitate for this special celebration.
All right, ready? All right, we're gonna do this. All right, ready? Hi, everyone. Hi. Let me get your attention for just a moment. Hi, everyone. Okay, cool. Hi, I'm Sage Brousseau. I am a friend of Beth's, and we are all here to celebrate Beth and her amazing accomplishments. I'm here as her friend and colleague in art education. I work for Boston Children's Museum, and I'm also a board member of the Massachusetts Art Educators Association. And I'm here to introduce Cari DiCicco, who is our president of Massachusetts Art Educators Association, to present Beth with her award tonight. Thank you so much, Sage. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for being here to help me celebrate our 2025 Community Art Educator of the Year. Beth Bailey, a lifelong South Shore resident and Mass Art alumna, draws inspiration from playful, childlike drawings to evoke nostalgia in her viewers. Her designs capture memories of doodles from our past, the creations of our children, or the sketches that we make in the margins. With nods to punk rock and American tattoo aesthetics, her work blends celestial, sexy, innocent, and dark themes, reflecting her wide-ranging artistic and cultural influences. Beth runs Creative Pathways, a dynamic community art program that connects diverse communities through collaborative art making. She teaches at local libraries, museums, artist studios, fostering intuitive spaces for people to tap into their innate creativity. Her teaching style empowers participants to recognize their inherent artistic potential, helping them focus on their creativity and bringing their artistic journeys to life. Beth also maintains a thriving pottery studio where she incorporates color, drawing, and painting into each piece. Her pottery, much like her larger body of work, reflects a playful, nostalgic aesthetic. She offers private pottery lessons from her home studio, and her work is available at galleries and shops throughout the greater Boston area and the North Shore. Would you please help me in celebrating our 2025 Community Art Educator of the Year, Beth Bailey?
Thank you. Come on.
Congratulations, Beth.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You guys, look at this. So fun. Thank you so much. I'm going to stick this over here because, as you all know, I'm a long-winded girly and I have a lot to say. So here we go. So first, I just want to thank all of you for being here. Thank you so much. It means so much to have all these people from different parts of my life and career in one space. Thank you to the MAEA for giving me this honor. It really helps to have an organization like this vouch for my work after review. It allows more doors to be opened for me, and it gives credibility to the work that I'm doing in the community. I just also want to give a special thank you to Sage Brousseau, who is one of my first professional colleagues. Sage and I ran programming together at the South Shore YMCA many moons ago, and she's been a steady supporter from bringing me in to bring my programming to the Boston Children's Museum, in addition to nominating me for this award. I also have to thank Levitate, and thank you to Shane for taking care of us today. We're here today. I love working with Levitate. They're endlessly supportive. They've found ways to hire me as a potter, as a painter, as a community arts educator, and offered up this space, offered to open up an hour early for us today. They're not charging me rental fee. They are, they're the best. And I actually also received a foundation from the a grant from the Levitate Foundation, which brought me in to work with over 60 kids at the Downey Elementary School in Brockton. And so very much appreciative to the Levitate Foundation. To my friends, my family who are here this afternoon, and many of my clients, and many of those lines all blur together. Thank you guys so much for all of your support. It's because of all of you that I'm able to just create endlessly wider connections throughout the community and bringing more collaborative art programs to people of all ages and abilities. So if you guys haven't seen inside, there is a large piece of art in the corner right behind this wall here, and I'm very excited to talk about that. That is, and thank you to Kelly Sita of the Douglas House over here. The Douglas House is a regular client of mine that I go to every Friday and make collaborative work with the 62 plus residents. Kelly found me, brought me in, and I just want to thank you so much for having the vision to see the inherent creativity in your residents and to go so far out of your way to bring me in and find programming for them to make art within the community for the community. So that large scale piece there is going to head over to Frame Center. Thank you to my buddies Frame Center. Dave and Dina are here from there today. Dave and Dina, they generously do custom framing for these Douglas House pieces at no cost, so that the work is really given a beautiful level of respect and then goes to be installed permanently at the Douglas House. The Frame Center is also an organization that hires me for everything from painting to pottery. So you guys let me know. I'll figure out how to get the artsy job done if you got one for me, okay? So you also may have noticed up on the table that I brought my first set of boxed greeting cards. Those I had printed at Goss Photo over in Hanover. And those designs on those greeting cards are some of the completed works we've already finished at the Douglas House. Sentimento di Cabo Verde, a triptych, and Tap Tap Cabin Brockton, which is another beautiful standalone piece. So each box set has one of each. And the proceeds from all of that and also any pottery sales go directly into Creative Pathways Incorporated, which is officially a nonprofit as of this year. Thank you. I'm happy to say we're officially registered as a 501c3, and hopefully by this time next year, I'll be planning out a small salary to start paying myself. But for now, it's all about fundraising and trying to cover the basics, keeping supplies stocked so that I continue to grow this programming. And of course, I have to thank my husband, Jeff, and current cinematographer, acting treasurer and CFO of Creative Pathways. Last year, when my business turned a profit for the first time, just around $7,000, we realized it was time to get serious about formalizing bookkeeping and forming a nonprofit. Jeff took the lead on all of that and made that happen, and continues to manage the books and make sure that we're really growing a program that can sustain. We're floating this financially together, essentially as if I'm a stay-at-home mom, but I do hope to continue to grow this and hopefully share the load of supporting our family at some point. It's coming, Jeff. It's coming, I swear. Another big piece of what I do is very close to my heart is my podcast, Let's Chat. I want to thank all of my Let's Chat interviewees. Many of you are here today. Greg, I see back there. Sage, I got a bunch of you on my hit list. Naomi, Stacy. Okay, Dina, Dave. I'm like going to start booking you guys, okay? Before you're out of here. Kerry, I'm booking you. So the podcast, it's another way I'm trying to make arts accessible. I'm trying to share stories from real people living creative lives, whether they're artists, educators, makers of any kind, students. And because clearly I could truly talk forever, a podcast just seems to make sense for me. So if you haven't checked it out yet, like and subscribe on YouTube and Spotify. And if you know any other people in your lives, again, all ages and abilities who might be interested in speaking with me, I'm truly trying to create a platform, a database of artists and creatives where people can go and I can prove my point, like, look, no, there's so many ways to be a creative. So I'm compiling that database. Sentiment of my Uncle Bobby, boat building, I'm booking you, we're getting you on there. Marion, we're getting you on there, my mom. Okay. Thank you guys for sticking with me, but I still have more. Okay, because I want to give a shout out to my family. The way Creative Pathways really began was when I had my daughter Hazel. My creative routine really had to shift, and I couldn't get to the pottery studio quite as much. And so Hazel and I leaned on my sketchbooks, and I had to get comfortable with Hazel, drawing on top of my drawings, flipping the page before I was done, telling me what to draw, and something I used to hold precious, my sketchbooks, became a beautiful collaborative rhythm in our home, which we've incorporated Max into so beautifully. We love Max's contributions as well. And it's just really magical to see their creativity build right alongside mine. In 2020, Hazel was a toddler, and the world felt particularly disconnected. I had suddenly become a stay-at-home mom, and I was following a lot of community activists asking us at the time to look inward, think about what we can do in our own communities. So I did that. I asked myself, what needed to change and what skills and privileges I had that I could leverage to make a difference in my community. And I realized that while I was well connected in the South Shore arts community from Whitman to the coast, the next town over, Brockton, where my family is from, shout out OFB, okay, yeah, and the town I was born as well, I didn't have same access into the arts community there.
And this wasn't surprising, right? We all know about the economic and cultural divide between Brockton and some of the South Shore. But it gave me time to kind of sit with that. So knowing that, I knew I wanted to make a change there, but I also knew I wasn't going to expect a community that I was the first one to say I had lost my tie to bring me in and run programming. I needed to build credibility, something real that could earn trust. And I also know that in every community, whether it's Whitman or Marshfield, there's people who need more access to the arts. So I started my own backyard, pun intended. Get it? Levitate backyard. So I was writing grants to the Whitman Cultural Council and collaborating with my local library. Receiving those first grants allowed me to troubleshoot, test, and refine my concepts. And every event taught me something new, as that continues to be true. And by the time I built a connection with the Brockton Public Schools a couple years later, I had a program I could present, one that had been shaped by experience and success. And so while I don't think any of them can make it today, a big thank you to the Brockton Public School System, who brought me in to hear my vision and who continue to write grants alongside me to bring me in to work with their students. I really believe in creating community across communities. I love working in all the places that I am, from Brockton all the way to the coast. For example, this coming January, I'll be the artist in residence at Hazel School in Whitman. Last summer, I had the joy of developing artistic programming for the summer camp at the Duxbury Art Complex Museum. So I'm really excited to continue building bridges between all of these creative communities, even when they aren't working side by side in person. Every group I work with contributes to these same traveling sketchbooks. So even if they never meet each other, they are connected through shared creativity. And isn't that such a beautiful place to start? If you haven't had a chance, please take some time to scribble in these sketchbooks, do a drawing, add a swoosh, sign your name. And just to wrap it up, I want to say that looking ahead, I'm going to remain tied to my core values of collaboration, accessibility, belonging, and my goal is to work with more pre-existing groups, collaborate with senior centers, libraries, corporate wellness programs. Anyone can bring me in for one-off or ongoing classes. Each one of these new groups will be contributing to new, larger scale pieces of work while making something small and personal for a take-home. So these new large pieces that we'll be making throughout 2026, I'm planning to have a large fundraiser event at this time next year. I'm envisioning food, live music, maybe a basket raffle. Who has something they can donate to my basket raffle? I want to have a curated gallery show, more greeting cards for print, and I have reached out to Fuller Craft Museum to see if they will host me. So that's on my big vision board. That would also include admission to walk around and enjoy the museum while you're there. How cool would that be? So give me all your Fuller Craft contacts. We got to make that happen. So again, thank you to the MAEA, my friends, my collaborators, my podcast guests. You guys all make this work possible. And this is wild to me. I can't believe I'm even speaking to you right now, and that this dream I had alone in my kitchen has turned into something. So thank you guys all, and have a great time. Oh my God. All right, party.